Hi, I'm not going to tell you Happy Women's Day. Instead, I'm going to ask you to give me 2 minutes of your time. I'm going to ask you to have a little patience, hear me out, and if this does not agree with you, remember you have the option to scroll away. So, this Women's Day, I want you to ask yourself a few questions, because just having a special day or a month for the world to remember that this is important is not going to make the big change we need. Truthfully, that's one of the reasons we started financial freedom for women. I want you to understand this in a larger picture format, okay? Even places like Europe, America, what we consider the first world in many ways, women did not have rights till 1970s. It's not very long ago, okay? Rights like they needed their husband's permission to work, or they did not have voting rights, and they could not get bank loans. In theory, the laws have changed, but in reality, they haven't. Go read up on the microfinance, staying in debt, okay? Understand that there are places where women still get rejected for loans. For many a times, it's simply because they don't have the asset to support the loan or something like that. So there is something that happens in reality, and there are things that happen in practice. Now, the facts are, if you have financial freedom, you have the choice, you have the freedom to make choice. It is just the universal truth. Say you're in a bad situation. Could be your own family or you're married. It doesn't matter. What do you need to pick up your bags and go? Money, right? Having your own business also helps you keep a sense of identity. This Women's Day, I would say go speak to a few women around you. Ask your mom if she was a homemaker. Maybe your mom was working. Great. Ask the mothers who are homemakers, grandmothers, what they did not want to study. They did not have dreams and aspirations. The reality is that while in practice we're changing a lot, while in theory we're changing a lot, in practice it hasn't changed. Imagine if the Supreme Court this year had to have a whole discussion on that, the woman that stays at home and the person who's looking after, the primary caretaker, her contribution is to be considered. It would be so beautiful if we lived in a world where we just appreciate that, hey, I get to work, I get to do things simply because there's somebody at home, my wife, my partner, who allows me or creates this beautiful space that I can go do this. So there are lots of these questions we should actually be asking ourselves. And the saddest part is that it's not going to happen overnight. If you're a woman entrepreneur and you want to do things, it's your journey is harder. It is even deeper, because in reality, there are things that years and years of conditioning I have done. I had to recondition myself. I find myself constantly questioning in rooms where there are more people more successful than me, or in other ways that, do I belong here? Do I do this? We all go through that. And the fact is, till we don't actively work on these things, I'm not really sure if change will come. I just want to live in a world where my daughter doesn't need a Women's Day. She doesn't need somebody to stand up and say, it needs to be different. And here are some facts. I want you to look up some data from the World Economic Forum. You know what? It's the age of AI. I'm not even going to ask you and show you receipts. You can go check the facts. When the money goes in a woman's hand, it directly impacts the world around her. The children, the way she's providing, whatever she's doing. There are places in the world where women are, in Korea, there was a phase where women refused to have children. Why? Why is all of this happening? And yes, I can have a lot of guys commenting badly, but take a moment and just think about it. It's happening because women are tired. They're exhausted. That's the shift we need to make. Some of my biggest champions have been my guy friends, the men in my life, my brothers, my dad. It's not that. This whole change needs to work together. But at the same time, we women also have a responsibility. If you don't raise your voice, if you do not ask for what you want, how's it going to happen? And that comes in the format of making yourself a priority. Stop calling your business a small business, a hobby, or just something I'm doing on the side. You can be a mother and you can have ambition. It's okay. Give yourself that permission. So yeah, while this is a long chat, I just want you to remember that this Women's Day, if you're really going to make a change, you know what? Work with more women, hire more women, make room for more women. If you're part of corporate world, make more seats for women. All of us have to work together. So yeah, I'm not going to wish you Happy Women's Day, because the premise of it is not fun. It's not beautiful. It's sad that we still need it.